your boy Big Bro, back at it again with Stevo previewing tonight's NBA basketball games. You did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey Stevo, you already know though, we're gonna have to play the music first.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.
Stevo, we got 6 games in the NBA tonight, and once again, like every night, which is what makes this play-in situation so great. Pretty much all of them have playoff or play-in implications.
Mm-hmm. Like literally every single one of them, all six. Like they
Hmm.
all important. Like and they all should be good games.
Yeah, they should be. And right, speaking of good games, it's already a good game on and popping. They got it started early in Atlanta tonight. Five o'clock Eastern. They got started. And it's in Indiana is up 74-72 at halftime in that game. Steve-O.
No defense is being played at all. None.
Absolutely, absolutely none. Now Indiana really needs that game. They really need this game because they're at 33 and 41, and they could pick up about a game on the Bulls if they win today. I think a half a game because the Bulls don't play tonight.
Hey,
Um,
bro. If you look at the stats, it's kind of crazy because like you just said, it's an important game, and they most important players ain't really stepping up for real. Like they most like Jordan Nwora is got 25 points right now off the bench.
Oh wow,
Everybody else, yeah, everybody else ain't really doing much. It's Matherin has two, Naismith have six, Isaiah Jackson has 10, Halliburton has nine, and
he got
Andrew.
9 assists though.
Oh yeah, he got 99.
Halliburton
So
got.
he playing for it. So but Jordan Nwora is the reason why this score is crazy. So they can but the thing is, I feel like Atlanta is playing a complete game. If you look at their stats based off their stuff, I haven't
Yep.
been watching the game, so I can't really say if they're playing that. But based on how the stats look, Jordan Collins has 15, 1 and 2, 7 for 9, probably all dunks. They got Capella with 6 and 6. Trey got 14 and 1 and 3. Murray struggling with two from 7 from the field, but he do have 9 assists, so he is pitching in. And really, their bench is playing very solid. Sadiq Bey got 5 points. Griffin got 11. Garrison Matthews has 8, and what's Big O? Big O got 4. So they bench is
Anika
really holding it down.
Okongwu.
A Nico Akalo for sure.
But yeah, it's a good game. Again, it's an important game because of course Atlanta is trying to keep their hold on their current position and maybe move up in out of the play in and into the playoffs. And of course, Indiana is trying to move out of the playoffs and into the play in. So
Hmm.
it should be a good game. So who you got, man? It's 74-72. So it's basically 0-0. We still have an opportunity to say who we think is gonna win this game.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
So you
I
got
got
Atlanta at home.
yeah, I got Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, based on what I see that's happening with one guy, basically 2 or 3 guys in Indiana going off, but one guy really
Hmm.
going off. Whereas Atlanta and both teams are shooting close to 60% from the field, but
Hmm.
Indiana is not shooting as well from three as Atlanta is. So maybe Atlanta pulls it out at home tonight. I'm agree with you on that one.
Yeah, because everything stat wise is pretty much the same team wise and the team stat wise. So yeah, based on I feel like just because everybody I feel like the bench is playing a good role for Atlanta. So that's the main reason I'm going for Atlanta. Like, of course, I know Trey gonna do Trey things. Hopefully, Dejounte Murray picks it up in the scoring department. But besides that, I just think what they have around them, they're gonna be way better than any other Pacers.
So our next game, we got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Miami Heat in Miami, and as you
Good
know,
game.
Miami plays their best basketball as a team. Honestly, like in the latter half, latter third of the season, typically those Greg Popovich type teams do that type of stuff. And
Mhm.
recently, even Jimmy Butler was on camera saying that he doesn't really turn it on until after the All Star break. And of course, that caused some type of uproar within the basketball community as far as the media is concerned. Like, how could you say something like that? Or, it seems weird that you would want to admit that you don't try hard for most of the season. But that's neither here nor there. Brooklyn and Miami are right neck and neck with one another in
Literally.
terms of seeding and positioning. That Brooklyn's at 39 and 34. They're trying to hold on to a playoff spot or get back into the playoffs. They're in the play-in by now, right? Yep,
Hmm.
they're at number 7. So they're trying to take back what Miami took from them the other night. If they win this game, they end up back in the 6th place, and Miami goes down to 7th place. So who you got? Who you got in this one tonight?
Um, I believe I'm gonna go Heat just because they on a 2 game winning streak. They just beat that Knicks team. I'm gonna go Heat.
So Miami's on a 2-game winning streak. Jimmy Butler's playing some pretty good basketball. What Bam is up to? What's Bam up to?
Like I've been saying, like since when I said when we played the Heat that one time a couple weeks ago, Bam ain't been the Bam we expected him to be. He's not as like defensively wise. He's just not as good as he been in the past. Offensively, it didn't drop slightly, but not like on a huge significant level. Right now, he's averaging 21 points, 3 assists with 9.3 rebounds. So like he's not having a horrible season, but compared to the All Star like type years he's been having the past 2 years, he's not playing their its best. And I just feel like that's due to him. I just don't think he's a center. They're trying to run him as a center. You're not gonna run a center. If you're gonna be a center, I think it would help if he was a way smarter defender. Like I think most of his defensive skills is like physically based. Like it's based on his physical, like just natural ability. He's not really thinking the game as of yet. And if you're gonna be undersized like that, especially playing a center, like you go up against certain matchups, you don't have a good game because you know how it is. So yeah, that's really the story with Bam this year.
Okay, well, we'll see if they can turn it around. He's had a pretty nice stretch over the last 5 games, though, going
Hmm.
above 20 and 25 in 3 out of the 5 games. But yeah, it's hard to call games honestly right now. Everybody's scratching and clawing and fighting. You might see a night full of blowouts like last night, or you might see a night full of close games, like maybe tonight. But I'm gonna go with the home team. I feel like they're trying to put some distance between them and Brooklyn, and frankly, right now Miami has the better team in terms of like playoff pedigree and toughness and doggedness that's required with Heat culture and all of that. So I can see
Hmm.
them I can see them winning this game, but it'll be a close one for sure.
Facts. Yeah. Like I said, like you just said, like because it's so neck and neck, like Brooklyn can come out and beat the mess out of what the
No,
world?
bro. So the next game is
There you go.
Milwaukee versus
Okay, my
what?
headphones went out. I was like, what the world? But yeah, it's
Oh
just
my
like
bad.
it's good.
Go
But
ahead.
all I was just saying is like I said, like Brooklyn can come out and beat the mess out of the Heat. Like you never know. So anything can happen. Like, but I expect this game personally to be like a neck and neck game. It should go down to the final buzzer.
I mean, that's what happened the other night between Brooklyn and Cleveland when Okoro hit that three in the corner to win the game.
Oh man,
But that was crazy.
yeah.
But now you got Milwaukee and Denver in Denver. Denver is still looking for their 50th win. Like and Brooklyn's on a 5-game losing streak by the way too. So that's you know what I'm
Also,
saying.
yeah, yeah, it ain't looking too good. But that's probably this might be the game they pull it out. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Denver's struggling right now, Brody. Denver is they're struggling right now.
Bad, like honest, like it's not bad, but they struggling. Like they went on. Bless you. They was on a 4 game losing
Thanks.
streak. Um,
Well, they're
I mean
turning
they
around a little bit. You
yeah
say they're on a
they
two
on
game win
yeah
streak.
they on a 2 game winning streak, but it's not really against somebody that impressive. They beat the Nets. They beat the Wizards, and it win and they was all besides that Wizards games. It was all close games for the most part. So tonight is a test. Tonight is a test because I like don't be surprised if they lose tonight and like everybody been having their doubts. Even C Dub been saying I don't know about them, man. I don't know if they lose tonight and especially like in like a very convincing dominant way. They lose like people gonna be singing for real. Like I don't know about this team, and they
Yeah,
already
no, they
thinking
are.
that.
I'm about to say it's not. It's the worst kept secret that nobody believes in Denver. But tonight, Denver is at Denver. I'm not sure that they will win this game, but I'm picking them to win this game because they need to win this game. If not only to get their 50th win, but to get their 50th win against former NBA champions and the former MVP and this defensive player of the year, and with all the accolades that Jokic get, he wishes he could have the things that Giannis already has. And if you beat them at home to get your 50th win, it'll do great things for their psyche headed into the playoffs. But if they lose this game, it could creep into their minds a little bit that maybe they got more work to do before they can consider themselves true championship contenders.
Facts. And it like and these the games that can break you or give you all the confidence in the world. They can come out and beat them, and they can give them back that confidence that they one of the best teams, or well, they already one of the best team, but it was arguments that they were the best team in the league. So it could give you that type of confidence beating a team such as the Bucks tonight. So it should be a very intriguing game. Now they are, I believe they're playing. They home, right? Or they
Yeah, they
home.
playing in Denver. It's in Denver.
Yeah, so that helps. That definitely helps. But so yeah, if you just come in but the thing is they got some tough games coming up. Like after this, they got to play 76ers, and after that, they got to play the Pelicans and the Suns. So
Yeah,
can't lose
it's
too
got
many
some.
of these games.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for everybody. And speaking of the Suns, they're playing Philadelphia tonight at about 9 o'clock Central. So Philly and Phoenix, that's gonna be a good game, but it's difficult to call, man. Phoenix, they're in trouble, and it seems like Durant might be on his way back. I've been hearing rumblings that he'll be back in the middle of next week, but
Yeah,
he's
I'm
not
hearing
out there
Wednesday.
tonight. Yeah, and he's not out there tonight, man. And currently, Phoenix is on a 3-game losing streak. Um,
Hmm.
they've lost they've lost 6 out of their last 10, and they're dangerously close to being like Dallas and
Hmm.
being out of the play-in situation. Because right now Phoenix is 38 and 35, but you got Golden State already up on them in the win column with 39 and 36. And you also got Minnesota, you got the Lakers, you got New Orleans, you got Oklahoma. So we already know what's going on in the West. We don't have to talk about that too much. But if they lose
Right.
this game tonight, they lose this game tonight, and some other teams win tomorrow. Um,
No,
they're gonna
Lakers.
find themselves in trouble.
Right.
Exactly. So Phoenix got to win this game tonight.
Yeah. Like and it's scary because I'm looking at certain players on that team, and it's like you ain't looking like your old self. So it's like people got to pick up the slack. And, yeah, they need KD back in a major way now. What'd you say? They was 6-10 in their last 10 games.
6 and 6. They've lost 6 out of 10, so they're
Six.
four and
Man,
six.
that's bad.
Yeah, yeah. They were 4 and 6. So yeah, man. But Philly, man, Philly is trying to get to their 50th win again. They're in the same situation where it's like, hey, these guys are supposed to be championship contenders, but here we are over here. You got Embiid on his MVP campaign. Hopefully, you
Hmm.
got a situation where they want to get to their 50th win of the season and exert their dominance. Milwaukee kind of taking off on them as well in terms of being in first place, but they want to prove that they ready for a championship too. So Doc Rivers is going to have those boys ready to play on the road tonight, and I'm actually picking them to win. Like unless Devin Booker come out and go crazy, Phoenix looking like they missed those guys that they traded away for Kevin
Hmm.
Durant,
Hmm. That's
and of
exactly
course,
what it is.
they missed actual Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Facts. And I ain't gonna lie, I was picking the Philly too, and it's mainly due because I just feel like Tyrese can. This is a game where Tyrese can exploit CP3. CP3 been looking like a cone as of recent,
Yeah,
and we all know how fast and how quick Maxi can be, and he ain't scared of nobody. So these could be one of these games where he can instantly put up 25. And if you got 30 coming from Joel, that's all you need, to be honest.
Yep. So we got two more games to go over real quick, and then we get up out of here and let y'all get to watching the games. Meanwhile, Indiana and Atlanta are tied at 84, almost midway through the third quarter. Um, Listen, you got Utah and Sacramento, which again has playoff implications. Sacramento's in pretty good standing in the Western Conference. They're kind of jockeying for position between that 2 and 3 spot. Memphis is kind of taking off a little bit, winning their last five, and then Ja Morant is back, so it's giving them even more confidence. But Sacramento is still trying to at least get to that second spot in this conference. So we're gonna see what they do tonight against the Utah Jazz, because Utah is obviously right in that log jam again, and they need to win to at least have the same record as Dallas and Oklahoma City and the New Orleans Pelicans in terms of actual wins.
Yeah. And it's crazy because in the last five, Utah is 2-3 and Sac is 3-2. So they
Yeah,
it's
it's like the
go ahead.
West is crazy, bro. The
Yeah, it's
Western
really
Conference is crazy.
it's really crazy. So it's like me sitting here, I don't even know who to pick because I did see Fox get injured, so I don't know if he playing tonight. I don't know if he been playing, but I did see him. He. I think wasn't it yesterday? Is this a back to back?
Yeah, yeah, he
So
got
yeah,
hurt
this is a
yesterday.
back to back. He left the game early with some, I believe it was a leg soreness. So um, and they still in sack. I think I'm gonna still go with sack.
So right now they was earlier this afternoon they had him as questionable, so they haven't updated that yet. De'Aaron Fox might be available tonight, but if he isn't, I'm going to go with Sacramento at home.
Mm.
But I would honestly like to see Utah win this game to keep things
Oh, for
interesting.
sure,
So I'm actually going to switch my pick. I'm going to pick Utah on the road to win this game, and they're going to do what they have to do to keep pace with the guys in front of them.
for sure. I can see why you do that. I definitely. Yeah. I think I'm leaning with. I'm still leaning with sack.
For sure, for sure. And then the last game of the night is the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Los Angeles Clippers. And uh, the Claw had some words for us. We said that he wasn't gonna have what it take to win the game the other night without PG, but he came up big and took care of business. And they won. They beat the Thunder, if I'm not mistaken, pretty
Yep.
badly.
Yep. 27-105. 127-105.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like New Orleans is going to come and play. They're going to try to do their best to win this game. But the Clippers are, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about the Clippers. Like, they should win tonight at home. They should win tonight at home.
Yeah, they should. But like now, I'm thinking like is Kawhi playing again? Like I don't know. Like he should.
I think
Like
at this point, I think he's playing. Like he's in for the rest of the haul, not the long haul, but the rest of the
the
haul.
rest of the hall. Oh, bro.
And they got to put some type of separation between them and fifth place, and they
Mhm.
got to win it, especially if Phoenix loses tonight, because they're not catching the Kings. Like that ship has sailed, but they can. It's just like the Dallas Mavericks. Like if they keep playing around, if the Clippers start to play around, at least they're gonna fall into the play-in tournament, and they're not trying to see that smoke because they already had it happen to them last year.
No, I agree. And I think I'm probably gonna go Clippers with this one, just because I feel like they looking ahead in their schedule, and they gotta play us in back to back. Well, they ain't back to back games, but they gotta play Grizzlies twice, and those are three games that they can easily lose two to possibly just
All
maybe
three of
one
them.
or all three. So and Pelicans is probably the only team that's really like you should come in and slap your hands together and get up and leave and get a quick win real quick. Like, but everybody is fighting, so you never know. It could be a close game, it could be a blowout like he did with
Exactly.
OKC.
I mean, the Pelicans on a 3-game winning streak, so they fighting for their playoff lives too. I don't think that they fear the Clippers. So
Hmm.
and they whooped on Charlotte the other night. So I'm feeling like they got an opportunity to get a win tonight versus the Clippers. But I'm not gonna pick against Kawhi tonight. I think he's gonna get it done at home to keep the Clippers in fourth place out west.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I could just see them coming in and getting a win for sure.
All right, there you have it, man. Those are our picks for tonight's game. You got 6 NBA games. Um, right now, Atlanta and Indiana are in a dogfight. Indiana is down 87-89 in Atlanta with about 5.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Uh, that's the NBA is on fire. Pretty much every game is must see TV in terms of positioning and who's going to make it in to the play in or into the playoffs or out of the playoffs. The precipitous fall of the Dallas Mavericks the other day was crazy to fall from the 6th spot to the 11th spot. It's like playing shoots and ladders. You did, you
Oh,
think you
bro.
almost to the top, and now you back in the middle. You did,
But
or
they
now in that
definitely,
case, back at the bottom.
I don't know. I think they playing craps because they didn't definitely crapped out for real.
Yeah, when they traded for Kyrie, I think a lot of people were excited, of course, about the offense, but many people had questions about the defense and who was going to play defense and how that was going to work out. And right now, that team is struggling on that end, as well as Luka, playing isolation basketball and trying to get his numbers up. So yeah, it's interesting, man. Hopefully they can figure it out because I would like to see Kyrie in the playoffs, but hey, we'll see.
Not with this team. I just don't see it. Like, because I was coming in, like, I know everybody was excited, but I was like, yeah, offensively it could be fireworks, but it could also not work. Like, because I was saying at its best, it could be like Harden and Paul, but the difference is Paul can be a true point guard whenever he wants to, and 9 times out of 10, that's his mindset anyway. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if that's Kyrie. Kyrie first mindset is always to get a bucket.
Hmm.
And when you have both get a bucket mentality type of players neck and neck that operates in the same type of playing style, I didn't know if it was gonna work because I've always said if it's gonna work, it's gonna be dependent on how Luca plays, and it is not even like how he plays is the style of which he plays. If you go back to the Euro eccentric Luca, the Luca we seen before he got to the league, Luca, it could have worked. But this little James Harden Luca is not gonna work with Kyrie.
Yep. All right, man. Hope you guys enjoy a nice, fun-filled night in the NBA, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, of course, when the Bulls take
For
on the
sure.
Lakers over on Shot Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. See the everybody. Make sure y'all follow that. Make sure y'all follow Chicago Bulls Central if you haven't already, and all the other ones, Chicago Bears Central, so on and so forth. I'm Big Bro along with Stevo, and we up out of here.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the number one place for your basketball fix, NBA Central, hosted by the Cognac Boys.